What's up, y'all? You know who it is. It's your boy, Big Tank Hank, coming at you with another Saturday live stream. You're in the AquaShop, and we're open for business. Well, today we have a wonderful couple of wonderful guests. Brianne's Fish Fam, which includes Dave Farrell, Brianne Farrell. Now, the rest of the family is in the chat right now, but we have those two that's gonna come up and give us a rundown. They may tell us some of their other family members' business also. We'll see if we can get that out of them. Um, I'm gonna bring them up, y'all. Give them a round of applause. Here we
Hello.
go. What's going on, y'all?
Hey everyone.
Hi.
Right, all right, all right. Who do we have in the chat? Who do we have in the chat? Deborah, DD, you say first in. Ironic, yeah, because you usually come in at the end, right before I shut the chat down. So thank you. My Fish Tank Aquatics, welcome. Rico Stan, yes, sir. Thank you, though, for stopping by now. And on the replay, thank you for also coming back and checking out that replay. Sandy Farrell, that's the mother. Olivia Farrell, that's the sister. Stephen P. Muppet 929. What's going on? Dave Farrell again. Who else we got? Degenerate Fish Keeper. What's going on? All right, all right, all right. Degenerate Fish Keeper, that's Mr. Manifesto, correct?
Yes,
All
it
Yes.
is.
right. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for coming through and sitting in with us today. So, Brianne, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Dave, what's happening?
How you doing?
Chilling. I'm chilling.
Rainy day.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good. Sipping on a little Bang energy drink in my customized mug. I customized myself. But Big Easy, I see you sliding in. All right, Big Easy. Hey, I wanted you to introduce yourself to the people. They already know you, but on the replay, there's gonna be some people that don't. Introduce yourselves and give us a little brief background on how you got started. Um, give us a little insight on you as a youngster. Well, Brianne, a little insight on you right now. And Dad, you as a youngster, and bring the people up to date, to the people that you are today.
So I'm Brianne Farrell. I'm 12 years old, going into 8th grade at Hadley Luzerne School, junior senior high, and we started fish keeping February of last year. And we started with 3 10-gallon fish tanks because we were watching Tanked, and I wanted to get a fish tank. So we had those 3 fish tanks. I had one, my sister had one, and then my mother had one. And we only had those 3 for a little while. We had it set up for 2 days, and we declared it cycled. And we got 3 fish from, I think my first 3 fish were like different types of platies, Mickey Mouse platy, Variatus platy, and then an orange and black platy. Those were my 3 fish. And I can't remember what my mother and sister had. But yeah, that's my first fish tank. Well, that was my own. But before that, we had a 55-gallon fish tank years ago. I can't remember when it was. But it was quite a while ago.
Yeah, you were both babies when we had it.
Yeah, I remember some of the fish in there. And my mother gives little insights because while we're at the fish store, she's like, "Oh, I used to use that in my fish tank," or "We used to have that fish in our fish tank." But we only had those 3 10-gallon tanks after we took the 55-gallon down. It was years later. Then we had the 3 10-gallon tanks. And a little while after that, we got 3 1.5 gallons. Not for permanent fish tank. It was our quarantine tank. So we would get like 3 fish at a time and put them in the 1.5 gallon. Not the best idea. I wouldn't recommend it. But 3.5 gallon of 3 fish in this 1.5 gallon tank, And sometimes we would just put them in there for a couple hours. Sometimes we'd put them in there for a day. And whether we saw stuff on them or not, we would kind of just pick the fish up and put it in our tank. And yeah, those little 1.5 gallons were not the best, pretty much ever. But we had them if we wanted them. And the next fish tank we ever had is when I saved up like $500, $600, and I bought a 16-gallon BioCube for saltwater. And that was July 29th, 2020. And I remember that date because that was my 1 year having braces on. So that was a very special day. But yeah, I don't have much going on other than fish keeping. And I mean, my mother and I clean houses. That's our like second job together, other than shipping out fish and stuff, and fish keeping as a hobby. And I also have worm keeping, which ties into fish keeping because you feed the worms to the fish. But yeah, you introduce yourself.
I'm Dave. I'm the father, and I'm here to support Bree and everyone else in the fish fam. And I'm a highway foreman and heavy equipment operator, and we got into fish keeping a while ago and got rid of that one tank and went on to other things, and now we're back into fish keeping. And
with about 70 tanks.
Now that we're here, I think we're going to stay here and make a go with this and see what happens.
I can't see us getting out of fish keeping anytime soon.
That's cool. Deborah, you have no idea. You have no idea. Very industrious. Very, very. Okay. Now, start off. I'm going to go, because I didn't get to this when we were in the green room, because this question is just for me. What is your favorite fish that you have? And then I'm going to go backwards for everybody else.
All right. So my favorite fish is discus. I have 4 of them in my bedroom next to my bed. And then
I happen to like those cichlids.
OBs are after.
Yeah. I kind of like a lot of them.
Just cichlids.
I'm a big fan of the OBs. Obviously, I like the angels and I like the discus, and they're all cichlids. So,
yeah.
But African cichlids are kind of my favorite.
Mm-hmm. And the OBs. They're pretty cool too. That'd be a lot of fish tanks to get rid of. You're stuck now.
Yeah, right. So, how many tanks, to the best of your recollection, do you have that y'all or that's up and running that y'all are taking care of right now, from smallest to largest?
So we have about like 70 to 80 tanks. I think it'd be about 75 if I was to put a good guess on that.
Yeah, we counted it up the other day, and I think we were in the 70-somethings.
The smallest ones we have that are official tanks with sponge filters and heaters and everything would be a 3.5 gallon tank, and that's what we put betas in. I do have a couple 1.5 gallons, but they don't have filters or heaters. That they do have fish in them. They have a beta in each of them temporarily. But the smallest ones that we have up running are 3.5 gallons, and the largest we have are 75 gallons, and I think we have 4 of those.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. And yours is a 60.
Mine's a 60, and then Mommy's is a 65.
Yep, and then we have a 65. So, and then there's quite a few 40s.
There's 40s, there's 20 longs, 20 highs, 10 gallons. There's bow fronts, like a lot of them.
Yep.
Favorite style?
Style?
Of tank or?
Of tank.
Oh, I would go, like, is natural an option? Natural.
Yeah, that's an option.
Sand, live plants.
Yeah, I like sand on the bottom, lots of plants, and I'm torn between the 40s and the 75s.
I like 10s the best. That's my favorite.
Right, because you do a lot of the guppies and smaller
If
fish.
I was, like, if it's a permanent tank, if it's a tank I'm not really trying to breed, I would rather have sand and plants. But if it's a breeding tank, like, I have quite a few of my tanks are just bare bottom because they're super easy to clean.
I'm gonna put this question up here, and we're gonna come back to the
So
breeding
geez.
subject. The breeding subject.
4.
4? 1, 2.
Oh,
Technically, yes, we have 4 because I have my starfish tank, but 3 of them have filters, heaters, lights.
the one starfish tank doesn't need anything, but we just took down one
20 high.
20 high in the kitchen to make that a complete beta rack.
Yeah.
Beta, whatever.
Beta. But we have a 75 gallon, a 26 gallon, and then a 16 gallon. And they're kind of all community tanks.
Okay.
They're not a specific tank. Mine's a clownfish tank.
Okay, now on the breeding, which fish are you guys breeding on purpose, with a purpose, and which fish just breed and there's nothing you can do to get away from it?
Okay, so the guppies is kind of a little bit of both. They just breed themselves, but we also want the babies. But we have a couple hundred guppies now.
The guppies are a great breeding project. The Crebensis are on purpose. There's cherry barbs in that tank, but if I don't care, it doesn't matter if they breed.
Yeah,
They're there for decoration. Actually, they're there for color because I went with red fish. So Crebensis have the red bellies and the red cherry barbs. So
the rice fish,
I like them.
The rice fish weren't on purpose. We just got a couple of them from Pepplin Creek Aquatics, and they were just kind of meant to be in the tank. And then they started breeding. So now we're doing it on purpose, but they just started breeding.
And the angels, those are on purpose.
Those are going to be on purpose. Not
they
yet.
haven't bred yet,
they're
but
really small.
They're on purpose.
And the discus are going to be on purpose.
So everything's pretty. The cichlids were an accident. We didn't actually know. We bought the fish, put them in the tank.
Pairs. We bought them as pairs.
We liked them, and I didn't actually know there was any females in there. We weren't actually sure. And
yeah. We just went by this myth that we heard at the fish store that if there's a dot on the whatever fin.
Tail fin. The anal fin.
Yeah, the anal fin. If there's a dot on it, then it's female. And if there's no dot, then it's male. And we went by that and got pairs. And that seems to be true so far.
Yeah.
Okay. So on your discus, have you had a successful spawn yet?
No, they have laid eggs. They laid eggs, what was it, a few weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago or something. But I have, I got them at 2.5, 3 inches big. And they're now about 5 inches in a few months. And so they've only laid eggs once, but no successful spawns yet.
Okay. Out of all, no, I'm gonna hold that. So on your guppies, which are all the particular strains you have?
So I have my black rainbow Moscow guppies. My mother has, I gave my mother some German ribbon fins. My mother has some big ear dark dragons. And then I have tequila sunrise, icicle, and Santa Claus guppies, Dumbo blue dragons, metalhead guppies, and then mud guppies, obviously. And then I have some Endler guppy crosses, some snake skins in there too, and platinum tiger mosaics, half moons.
What are your favorites?
It's a real hard choice. I would say the Dumbo blue dragons are my favorite out of mine, but
one of the ones downstairs on the right.
In the 20,
Dumbo dark dragon.
Bigger dark dragons.
Bigger dark dragons.
Those ones are my favorite of my mother's, but I really do like the German ribbon fins. So those.
Have Have you entertained the thought of entering any guppies in a guppy show?
Um, I thought about it, but then that thought kind of like went away. I was like, do I really want to enter in a guppy show? Maybe one day we'll try and do that, but I have thought about it.
I think you extend the work that you have to do.
Yeah.
You know, you need 4 tanks per strain. You got to separate these from those, and then your mutt guppies, and there's a whole process to it. And apparently, it takes years to clean your lines up to the point that they're good enough to do that. I mean, these are pretty clean. Most of them came from Jess, you know, and she's been doing it for a minute. And I think to get to that point, you'd have to take some time, and you know, it's right now it's about recouping something of what we got out into it.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Scott's Aquatics.
Scott's Aquatics.
I think there might be a colony bred. I'm not too familiar with that term.
A colony bred, but well, okay, I think I know what he's asking. Yes, you have like especially with the YouTube influence on the fish hobby, you have shows that are like you have your regular sanctioned guppy shows, but then you also have spin-offs or whatever, or even at those particular shows where you can actually enter a mud guppy that you think is pretty.
Right.
You know, kind of like an open division. You know, they actually do have those. I mean, I'd be lying if I gave you any guarantee of where, how, when, but they do exist because I've had someone approach me. Fox's Fishes, hello lady. I've had somebody approach me before about entering some endlers I had, like putting them in the mail and shipping them, and then they put them in the show, and then they sell them at the show or donate them or something. And I mean, we're talking about endlers, so you know, there's no real sanctioning, you know, that's going on with that. But they also had guppies at that particular show also. So yeah, if you want to do it, they have them. All right, and on your mud guppies, what's your plans with them?
I just kind of let them breed. I did get some new ones from Steven a week ago, might be, or something like that, like a week and a half ago or something. And those are just kind of adding to my mutt guppy collection. Those are culls out of our straight lines that aren't perfect. And then they just kind of breed themselves. And if there's babies that I need to get rid of, at one point I had about 30 guppies in my tank, 30 mutt guppies in my tank. If it gets to a point where it gets overstocked, we just bring them to our LFS.
Okay. Trevor, that's Trevor. I was telling you about that I introduced my son them as No Tank Joshua. What's going on, Trevor? So, are you guys gonna have a actual full-fledged internet storefront?
Yes. So we don't have one right now. We just kind of sell and ship by email right now. But we're gonna do get gills to start off with as we start growing our business, and then we're gonna get our own website in like a year or something.
Okay. Yes, hit that like button. Hey, and share this out. Share this out, y'all. Get some more people in here. On your angels, do you have any specific strains of angel?
So my mother's got a 75-gallon tank downstairs. That's one of the two we were talking about earlier. That's next to the Crebensis tank, and she's got 6 or something angels. And if Peplin's in chat, he'll know exactly what they are. But I think they're
I did see Peplin.
They're marble angels, something like that. My mother wanted blue, Philippine blue um, angels, but she couldn't get them in stock anywhere. So I can't remember what they're called, but they're some sort of marble angel.
Yeah, we write them on the tank, the names, because it's tough to keep them all straight sometimes and remember them all and which one is where.
I can remember a good amount of the names, but I can't remember
Black marble.
Black marble.
Black marble.
Yeah, they're actually beautiful.
They are. They're big now.
Yeah, they've gotten quite big, and they're really starting to.
They went from that big and
show colors quite nice.
Okay.
Because I can't remember the past 20 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds kind of like me, and I don't even have what 5 tanks running right now.
Yeah, we have a little paint marker and we write the strains of fish on the tank.
Oh, and I want to let y'all know, I have a tank right here to the left and to the right of me, plus my tablet's right here. So if you see me looking off with them, I told you I was ADHD, you know. all I need is some slight movement, and it's gonna suck me in. So I'm not being disrespectful or anything. It's just hard to stay on task. I set myself up for failure with this, you know, but I'm gonna think my way through it. Hey, they got an alarm for me, fish traffic. That's what I'm talking about. I'm probably the only man that's got one, you know. I don't want to jinx that. So, what is a fish you? I mean, it's kind of hard for y'all, but what is a fish you don't have? That you want?
So we have almost every smaller fish, but we don't have like Oscars, arowanas. We don't have Bichers or ropefish. They might be the same thing, but
I'm looking into the OB peacocks.
He's got 2 right now, but he's gonna get some next week.
Yeah, I got my tank set up for them, and they're supposed to be coming from Furloughs Aquatics. Danny Weshy also had some, and we've kind of always talked about the electric blue
Jack
Dempsey's.
So we don't have like acaras. We don't have goldfish, but we don't have like acaras.
Yeah, but I thought you said, what would you want?
Oh, what would you want?
Yeah.
Oh, probably an Oscar then. Oscars.
Yeah, Oscars was my very first. I'm interested in keeping fish. I had fish before that, but it was like caught them in a creek, caught them in a pond, bought them at the minnows at the going fishing shop, and just put them in the tub or something. But Oscars was the very first fish that I kept as an aquarist. And I think I was an aquarist for about 3 minutes. Now I'm just a guy again with fish in the tank. But yeah, Oscars are real cool. They're real cool. I got a blue Acara right up there. You'll see him every now and then. He's relatively new to the fish room. That's my Father's Day tank, actually, you guys, right there. And he's gonna be a blue Acara. It's something I've been looking into, because I'm not a big cichlid dude, really, you know. But I wanted like a fish room pet kind of mascot. I had a better for a minute who was my mascot, and he actually won the YouTube Anabantoid contest, best in class. Oh, okay. I just had to plug that. But thanks, Chattanooga Ed, Lefty. Thank you guys. But yeah, I got a nice little car up there. But the Oscar, yeah, that's a good investment. They're not as aggressive as people taught them to be. Not taught as in teaching, but the build up. I have some teeth missing. I'm an old guy, and sometimes my words don't come out all the way like they're supposed to. But yeah, they're not quite as bad and personable. I mean, that's the best way to describe them. I had one who he literally knew me. I had a 70-gallon cube tank in my living room, and out of everybody in the house, he could always tell if it was me coming to the tank from wherever in the room. which was crazy to me. But he always knew it was me, and that was pretty cool. That was my boy. But so out of all of that, okay, fish that we possibly can't have. Do you have any that you like that you would like to have if they became legal?
Legal?
Legal, like you got your snakeheads, you got your Asian arowanas, you got
Asian arowanas are always cool. I see a bunch of them. What's your answer?
Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm more looking at what's popular, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're going to breed it and sell it, you got to be in that. But I'd imagine if they were illegal and they became legal and you had a bunch of them, you could sell a bunch quick.
Yep.
Yeah, you actually could. So yeah, I'm the guy that's like, I'm that niche in the corner fish guy. Like I'll have fish that I could probably never get rid of because I just like that fish, so I get it. And whenever I get the fish that's popular, I never keep them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I had my albino koi guppies for like 4 or 5 minutes, and now Jeffrey Watts has all of them. I can't explain it. I just like strange stuff and obscure, things like the little Chinese fish store with 100-year-old tanks and bad lighting and gremlins in the back room. You might not know nothing about the gremlins, but so Dad, are you prepared for this whole thing to just to blow up and to be what it looks like it can be, to be this super project, and I call it as a whole a project, to be a super project, because I mean what Brianne is putting into it and the direction that you guys are coming, and like you said, the all or nothing, mentality, and all you have, she got all the time in the world to learn how to work this YouTube thing. Are you prepared for this thing to blow up? Because it's coming.
Yeah, I'll live one day at a time, but I plan months ahead of time. I've kind of grown up with a lot of people who wait till wintertime to cut their wood, and mine's done in February for next year. I don't wait around and wait for things to happen. I'm ready for them when they do. So I think we're ready. I mean, hopefully something comes out of this, I mean, I don't know what's all involved with the monetized 1,000 subs and all that stuff, and what that translates into. But I think the fish thing will do good. It's done good so far. We're not making money, but we're kind of holding our own. So I'm okay with that. And if things go crazy, hey, if we got to add more tanks, we have quite a big basement.
We have a whole basement.
I only took up one section of it.
There's an upward trajectory. I mean, only way it's not is if y'all stop. I mean, just period. That is what it is. I mean, I'm one of the world's biggest cheerleaders. At least that's the way I like to call myself, because I look at things from the outside from a positive. Well, I start off from a neutral perspective, but I mean, you have a lot of people that are skewed one way or the other, which I don't come from there. I don't function, from that spot. I look at everything for exactly what it is. Ergo, putting me in a position to be able to, as you speak of, prepare ahead. Hey, there's some thunder going on out there. I don't see many clouds, but where's my umbrella? Where's this? Where's that? I mean, but yeah, no, I see some real good things. Some real good things coming. Let me see.
Well, that's what's nice. That's what's nice about the Fish Fam. Everyone's kind of supportive, and and a lot of people. I don't want to name names because then I'll leave someone out, and then I'll feel bad that I left someone out later on. But there was a lot of people in the beginning that really helped her along and got things rolling, and got her to, I don't know where she's, 430 something, 437. Got her there and get to the next step, and that's why we've always. I mean, there are some we haven't, impulse buys in store, but we've tried to buy most of our fish and plants and stuff like that through the fish fam.
Yeah.
We try and support them in their projects and buy fish and plants through them, or barter. You know what I mean? We've done that too.
True.
And that works.
Yeah, the fish. I can speak because I know for myself, my own experiences. The fish fam will not let you fall. Fish fam will not let you fall. It's a lot of genuine people, and if you're the same way, it's just cyclical. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It just it's always back around. And I'm gonna commend you guys in the chat. You're just a section of the fish fam, but you're all just as important to me because I know I've had situations. I'm here now with just 5 tanks behind me because I had my own situation to come up where I had to move, out of our home and move into an apartment, thanks to COVID and all this other stuff. But I'm not gonna go there. But the fish fam kept me from coming close to falling, and I have to salute y'all, say that I love you because I'm never afraid to say that I love anybody. And having y'all up, man, I've been sitting back, watching y'all for a minute, man. And again, I have a soft spot. I have a soft spot for kids in today's society, especially for kids that have a motivation. I mean, intelligent for one. Parents who keep them on the right road, the right direction, because we can see the parents through the kids. You know what I'm saying, Dave? We can see y'all through her, and I'm gonna commend you, man. It's a beautiful thing to see this. My voice cracked right there. Let me hold that down. I get sentimental sometimes. But yeah, much salute. So your sister, Bree, what is she as crunk as you are about this fish thing?
No. No, she's not into fish keeping as much. She's got one fish tank that she keeps saying, like, if the fish die, let's not get any more, and maybe I could take this tank out of my room. She's more into, like, I want hamsters. She's got one hamster, and she has a cat, too. But she's more of, let's think of this idea to have more hamsters. She's thinking about breeding hamsters, I think. I keep teasing her about it. I'm like, well, if you move this, you can have this tank, and you can breed hamsters. Like, she's wanting to do that, but my mother says no more rodents.
Yeah, that's gonna be an endeavor all itself. breed some hamsters. Yeah, that's gonna be a whole nother world.
Yep.
Believe you me, because I've had every critter that you could think of growing up, and when you take it outside, see, you can control it in these boxes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if its whole life existence is outside of this restricted area, but you keeping it locked up, oh man, yeah, it opens the door to a whole lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
But that's cool though. That's cool. Tell her maybe she can breed cats. Now that's another story too. We'll be having to call RB. Yeah, we have to call RB, and he'll have to take them and find homes for them. We don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah, fish are easier because you can, like, ship them off if you have too many, or bring them to your LFS and just drop them off.
Yes.
Hamsters and cats are a little bit more difficult than that. I don't think you can ship them. And it's not as easy to bring them somewhere and drop them off.
I'm here to tell you that the SPCA and all those people, they do take guinea pigs. So that means, hamsters, all of them. Also, we had our guinea pig scenario here in my house here not too long ago that we're not going to go back to. But that's another story. They weren't mine, but, that was supporting the kids type of thing, Yeah, guinea pigs are very special. They're noisy, if you didn't know. Very noisy.
Love them.
Very, very noisy, But no, that's cool. That's cool. So, Is Miss Sandy into the fish like you guys?
Yep, that's technically her fish room. Almost all the fish in that room are hers. I have a couple tanks in there, and my father's got a couple tanks. His Crebensis tank, I think, is pretty much it.
Yeah, I basically have the Crebensis tank
And
in
the
there.
OB. You'll have the OB tank.
And then the baby grow outs, but
most of it is hers. She's the one that makes like the moves. She's like, let's get more fish tanks.
and I just go, okay.
Yeah. She's like, I found this fish tank.
There she is. Fur babies are small animals for me. I see you. Dave, have you seen some OB eye biters?
No.
I had, again, no, I said I'm not the big sickly guy. I had two. I actually got a video, I think, way back on my channel of two OBI biters I got from a LFS. I think I made a trade for them because they looked real interesting. Because the eye biters, the shape, is kind of attractive to me. That race car shape, but they were OB, and I didn't realize that like they almost don't exist until I got rid of them.
My water bottle's loud.
Which was crazy on my part, but hey, that's okay.
Right.
So, what are we looking at? Brie, have you thought of any college?
No, I haven't
Nothing?
thought about it that much.
Y'all remember she's just 12 now, but the question has to be asked. The question has to be asked. Because at 12, I just wanted to ride bulls or something. At 12, I didn't. College? What is college? You don't have to have college. That's that's what I thought anyway.
Yeah,
if you can. Yeah,
It changes down the road. You want to go to, you really want to take off this. Biology is probably the class to be taken up on.
Well, see, anything. It's one of those type of scenarios where, especially with her, ichthyology is one of those things to even think about. But if it's this just to plant a seed, Miss Bree. Whatever you're extremely interested in now, especially if it stays, any further knowledge that you can get that's connected to it to expand, where you are and where you're going, it's always a beautiful thing. It doesn't even have to end in a degree. Just take the classes. It doesn't even have to end in a degree because no, college is not always the route for everybody. Not the end all be all. But hey, just have to ask the question when you're a youngster. So, what's the next project that's not a secret project that you guys have in the works?
The next project, I think I'm gonna do a pistos and platinum rice fish next. I found some online, not too expensive, so I think that's my next breeding project.
I don't have a lot of projects because it's summertime, and I actually work at this campground, so I'm crazy busy for the next weeks. But, and then I still have a full-time job. But I think the next fish room project hopefully is not expansion yet, and I'm still paying on the credit card payments from the last fish room. Hopefully there's some betas, breeding stuff going on.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. We have the setup for it.
But I had to use it for something. I had to use it for Alex's thing. We were going to use that fish tank. But
we have some tens and stuff like that upstairs, and we can.
Yeah, in a couple months we'll do the betas. And fish truck.
Now,
I can't see it.
Betas are the epitome of the go big or go home.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, they were at the top of the charts because I still love them, but they will take over your whole house in a matter of seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, they need room. Once they start getting big enough where you got to start separating them, they'll need room. Where, everyone always said,
you got to have bunches of jars.
With her being 12 years old to start this and want discus, everyone was like, "You're out of your mind. You just start with goldfish, and work your way up to
Guppies
that."
and stuff.
And she's like, "Nope."
That was one of my first
Discus.
fish. One of my first general fish was discus. I had it. That was my next tank after my saltwater tank.
Oh, Peplin actually said Furlow has OBI biters.
Oh, awesome. Fish Tropic asked,
What is the most profitable? Fish Tropic asked in the chat, what was the most profitable
item in your inventory?
item in the inventory?
So, Fish Tropic. If it's not a fish, I would say the grindle worms right now.
Yeah, the worms have done good. The plants have done good.
But in the future, I think the cichlids will do really good.
At this point, we're building fish stock.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But
fish babies. So we're getting that built up to the point where we can sell them and ship them. So.
A lot of things have been having babies, but as of right now, the grindle worms would be one of the best things that have been going right now.
Yeah, it's probably the live food and
plants are really good.
But the plant is now dwindling.
I may have to get some worms from you guys. Just never know. Because I'm becoming overrun with tetras over here. That wasn't my original plan, but they look so good in these tanks. And mom, let me see, breeding angels. Your mom said up here.
That's one of the
projects. Yeah. That's one of the projects she was, because they're already set up to breed. So if they do, then we'll end up moving them. And but yeah, I just saw his question.
So Trevor, we get most of our fish shipped to us. We do have a bunch of LFS, local fish stores. And if we find something cool at the fish store, yes, we will get it to try and breed. That's where we got the African cichlids. But we are getting some shipped to us as well. So a lot of fish are shipped from us.
Yeah, we try and buy through the fish fam to support them. And their, projects that they got going on. And if we can, we can. And if we can't,
then we'll
try and wait
get it local.
or look around or stuff like that. I mean, the cichlids were
already there.
That was kind of like I bought them. They were in the store. They were kind of cool, so I brought them home. But a lot of our other fish were bought from Jess and
shipped from other people.
Peplin, and we have
Steven.
I was just going to say Steven, and we do have OBs coming from Furlow.
And Danny Weshy maybe in the future.
Yeah, Danny Weshy has some stuff, and so if people have stuff and they put it out that they're looking to get rid of it or looking to or wants to get rid of it, then sometimes we're interested.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, because you guys actually had reached out to me. I can't be responsible for like maintaining any type of breed program and selling nothing.
Right.
I have attempted, but somebody else always ends up with. I mean, I had those blonde endlers I was really in love with, and then next thing I know, I sold the whole colony to my LFS. Like literal soul, he bought, which it ended up being, a win. But yeah, I just you can leave, poof, all of them gone. So yeah, that's not me. I envy when you can, start something like that and you do your culling and separation of your males and females when need be, and condition the fry and get up and mail them out. Man, I envy that. I can't stay on task to save my life. All I can do is just sit here and talk on the camera. I guess that's good enough. I don't know. Trevor, Hank, you don't want to sell my bonus for me. Where am I gonna sell them? Oh, to the LFS. My fault. Hey, you know what, Trevor? It's the same LFS that we went to. I might be able to get you a hookup now. I might be able to. I'm glad you thought of that. I might be able to. Joe Munoz, what's going on?
Is that Fishy Business Friend?
Yes.
Yeah, that's well, Are they friends?
Are they
Right,
friends?
right.
Do they beat on each other?
Are they frenemies?
Yeah, are they friends? Now we see if Aquafunk is gonna like sneak in the back door here, and try to catch him off guard. Hey, watch out. You should be pretty safe over here though, Joe. You should be pretty safe, man. Like, no guarantees, but usually there's no raucousness over here. You should be safe. Hey, but that is a special. Hey, man. Hey, y'all keep me entertained, man. But that's another cool aspect of the fish fam. I mean, before I found this, I was dealing with, you know, right. You meet this person, they're standing in front of you at all times. These are real life, physical interactions, which don't seem to work out well all the time.
Right.
But coming into the fish fam, and I'm assuming because there's so many people with like interests, we have so many things in common that it causes for better bonds. I actually have multiple friends that are real friends that I met doing this. Rather than having 40 plus years, of maybe one real good friend and then a second one, that I'm pretty cool with. But I get in the fish fam and it's like, hey, I got a whole group of people that, actually care about me and I care about them. This is a special thing that y'all are in right here. This is a very special thing.
Yeah, and if something happens, you can always go on there and ask a question to someone, and if someone doesn't know, someone else might, or might be able to point you in the right direction to, something weird happens. So that's what's kind of nice.
And it's guaranteed. It is guaranteed. That is very beautiful. It really is. So let me see. What else? What else do people might want to know? Hey, y'all got any questions while I'm thinking of something? Because y'all have so much, man. Okay. Nano fish. What kind of nano fish do you have? Because I'm a nano guy.
Almost all of our fish are nano. But we have, for real small, we have like ember tetras. They're pretty small.
The ember tetras.
We're not trying to breed those so much. They're just kind of a fish to go with some of our plecos. Our cory cats. Cory cats would be a nano or fish. Guppies. Little Daisy.
No, it's not.
You see. Never mind. It's not this. Sorry. Nano.
Hey, those ember tetras, they are very popular in the nano. Reason I asked is because, like I said, that's just what I do. Even when I had the 55-gallon, technically, because people think when you say nano, the small aspect of that, they automatically go to small tank in their heads, but you can have a big, giant, huge tank and it be a nano tank because of what you have in it, and the way you're sustaining that life. Nano is a very big thing. Yeah, nano is a very big thing.
It's mostly small fish because they're easier to handle. But we are going to try and breed the angelfish and discus and African cichlids, but you do get a little bit larger.
I do think when you get into the smaller fish, more community-related fish, people, it seems easier to get rid of, to sell and to trade off, because that's what people are looking for. The average homeowner is looking for, to put in a 55 or 75-gallon community tank. They don't want cichlids in there because anything they put in there, cichlids are just going to eat them.
Who's going to stay with them, right?
Right.
And with the cichlids, what about your plants? Yeah. So have you been successful? Have y'all tried any live plants with your cichlids?
Yes. I have
3 plants in my big cichlids.
3 Java ferns. 3 Java ferns in with his African cichlids, and they don't seem to bother him too much. They have actually produced so many little plantlets.
Yeah, I actually have stones in the back, which they've messed up, but I have stones in the back and then rock.
and then cichlids.
So that's like 4 or 5 inches, and then I lay in the front. I have like 2.5 inches of sand, cichlid sand, and then driftwood. And in the notches of the rocks, I put a plant, and then stuck a piece of driftwood up against it so they can't get to it.
Okay.
So I did that, and that's kind of how I've kept the plants alive in there, and without them tearing them up. Let me get that bug.
Okay. Lonnie, aka Looney Tunes, welcome in, welcome in.
Trevor said something.
I came in late. Are you guys on Get Gills
Sandy answered
now, or
it.
is that coming down the pipeline? Yeah, eventually. Like Sandy said, eventually we're gonna go on Get Gills.
Yeah,
If you check on there,
we haven't done it yet, but
we'll be on there.
I think that's going to be the next plan, and that's got to be coming
soon.
Fairly soon.
Because we got all those guppies, and even if we don't post the guppies right away, I still got my worms.
Right. That's.
Oh, you see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what that's why we've used the driftwood, and we had a log that has a hole in it, and I stuck the plant through the hole. Whoops. And kind of tied it in there and put rocks around that, and
And he did have the option of gluing it on the driftwood, but that doesn't look as cool, because if you want to take it out, then
it's actually doing pretty good. All three of those plants have actually done pretty good, and they haven't torn any of them out, but they can't get to them, like I said.
Yeah, once the baby cichlids are a little bit bigger, like my mother said, then we'll be on Get Gills.
Yep.
And
so Dave, do you have your since you know you got your cichlids and you kind of like them, do you see hundreds of gallons in your future?
We do know someone with a 90-gallon tank.
For sale?
And it needs to be resealed.
Oh.
But I assume it needs to be resealed. It's been down their basement for a while. There was the thought of doing a cold water tank, but I think if I was going to take the time and energy to do a cold water tank, I would do like a 125 or something like that.
But what would you be putting in a cold water tank? That size.
Killifish.
Again, they're in our basement, so like it actually stays pretty warm in there.
60
in the summertime. It gets cool in the wintertime, but there are a lot of fish. If you start looking at them and reading the descriptions, that will take a pretty big temperature range. And it's not like overnight where it's 70 degrees and then the next morning it's 40 degrees. It's a slow swing in the basement. So I actually think that would be cool. Mostly I would do it for plant breeding and then have fish in there too.
Yeah.
But no, I don't see me doing a huge, Kenny E cichlid or 2 150s behind me or whatever, 125s.
Yeah. So the cichlids are kind of like, they breed, we take them out, take the babies out or the eggs, and then we tumble them. And they're kind of like 10s to 20s, and then once they're big enough, they're sold.
Yeah, I'm more once they're big enough to be shipped or brought to a store, they gotta go.
Yeah, like continuously send the fish out the door instead of.
All right, still. Yeah, those huge things. That's a big. That's a big undertaking. Somebody had given me a 150-gallon tank, and it's sat in my garage for a couple of minutes. And
oh my!
What happened?
I don't know if you heard that. I don't know if you could hear that loud explosion that just happened. I don't know if it was fireworks or something.
Oh my God, that was loud.
That was pretty loud. But sorry. Yeah, someone gave you a big tank?
No, they gave me a 150-gallon tank when I had a garage, that is. And it sat in my garage for a minute, sat in my garage, man. And I ended up getting rid of it. I couldn't imagine, like, that's a lot. You have to really, it probably would have had to be, for me, it would have had to be salt water, but I'm not interested in salt water like that.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of big tanks with, cichlids, South Americans in it because the size or whatever, and African cichlids, let's galore, like corner to corner, African cichlids, and I didn't know if you wanted to maybe get into something like that one.
No, I actually, when we first got the 75-gallon salt tank, I actually wanted to do like a 6-foot long or longer saltwater tank in our dining room. And I just wanted to have one big tank. That never progressed because
That's expensive.
I remember bringing in the 75, all the 75s. And when they're empty and they're brand new, okay, I got that. This one wasn't. There was some rock. We had thrown a bunch of stuff in it to transport it. And,
there was
Bree and Olivia are helping me carry it in the house out of the truck, and it's like,
yeah, there was a bunch of sand.
I don't want to move a bigger tank.
Oh.
Just imagine a 150 in the back end of like a Astro van.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what? I believe the moving. When they told me I could have it, I was, hey, all right, I can put guppies in here to have. When I got it in the house, first of all, got it in that vehicle to get it to the house, then got it in the garage. I think that just killed all, vision I had of doing anything with it. It was like, okay, if I can't set it up right here on this floor in this garage like it is, then nothing is gonna happen to it. Woo, woo. Yes, again, I commend all those oversized tank people because man, they have to be dedicated.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you do have the, bigger tank, smaller swings and stuff like that, so your parameters don't go crazy all the time. But, it's just cleaning, water change. You do a 20% water change on, that's a lot.
Wait, do you have any outside guppy totes or anything like that?
We don't have any outside guppy totes, but we do have one outside pond. This is our first year of summer tubbing, and we have some white cloud mountain minnows and longfin zebra danios in there.
It didn't make any sense to me. It still doesn't, but I'm like, I'm going to go outside and put these buckets and fill them with water and maintain them outside. And,
then I got to move them
Then
inside.
I got to breed all these fish. Then I got to make room for them inside if I don't get rid of them. And, I was driving down the road at work one day and there was a pool on the side of the road with a free sign on it, and them plastic little tight pools, and it's got a slide and some stairs. And I go, I threw that in the back of the truck and I brought it home and I said, hey,
That's
look what I found.
That's what he does with everything.
Yeah.
Like a coat hanger. He got a coat rack. Just threw it in the back of his truck, brought it home.
I'm always around town. But I brought it home and I go, look what I found. And she goes, what are we going to do with that? I go, I don't know. Pond. So now it's a pond. It's got a roof over it. And, I bent PVC over top of it. And then we have a mesh net that goes over top of that to keep animals out and birds out. And then we put a tarp on it if it's going to be bad or cold.
Okay.
But hopefully that's our only outside project.
I forget about them because I hatch out baby brine shrimp and I go and feed all the fish like every couple days for the baby fish. I hatch it out, but I hatch it out for all the fish. So I'm going around feeding all the fish and I use up all the baby brine shrimp, all the live baby brine shrimp. And my mother's like, did you feed the ones outside? And I'm like, no, I forgot there's ones outside. It's so confusing because there's not like a fish tank that I can see all the time. So I forget to feed it. But she feeds it.
That happens to my poor balcony pond. I have some guppies out there. But what I can say,
I did see that one.
From what people say, oh man, the colors are so more vibrant. I can attest to it because I brought a couple of males in and females. I was going to, put some in the tank and I was, hey, well, let me go. Actually, I was saying that I have a 10-gallon down here full of fry behind me from some of those that I brought in from outside. And the males were through the roof as far as the actual coloration coming in. And they I mean, muted would not be the word for it because they didn't lose. I mean, they were still pretty, but they did come down.
Right.
In the house, they actually came down, and I don't know if it's because the sunlight. Of course, we know the benefits of the actual sunlight, but what else were they eating out there in that pond? I don't have a top on it. We don't have. I'm upstairs. I don't know if that's the reason why I don't have a big mosquito problem, but I haven't noticed mosquitoes in it. But I'm in Texas, so they almost have to be.
Right.
But yeah, there's a whole different level of coloration out there on those males. I can't. Well, the females also. I mean, I have some pretty females out there, and I just did that. That tote was my very first. No, very first is not right. I ruptured my Achilles 2.5 or so years ago, working at a juvenile facility, and that's when I found the Fish Fam because I'd been on YouTube like 10 years, but I was into bodybuilding and powerlifting and stuff like that. But I found the Fish Fam almost 3 years ago because I was sitting at home, couldn't walk, depressed. One of those stories that bad themselves to be true about owning fish. Depressed, surfing through YouTube, and found guppies. Just not realizing how from when I was a little kid to 3 years ago, how guppies had come so far. And I bought this tote, 30-gallon tote from Walmart, clear storage tote. And I don't care what I do, I have to keep something in that tote. Nostalgia, I don't know. I just have to keep it going. So I just stuck it out there and put, DIY filter on it and just let it go. I mean, I have a few sail-fin mollies in there, a few endlers, but I mean, they're very prolific out there, though. I mean, my LFS will love me for them because these would be some mutts that, I mean, long flowing dorsals, and I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy what I got going on out there, though.
Awesome.
Oh, Trevor and Sandy, I think, are discussing cichlids over there.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, y'all, we didn't hit that hour mark, and I think we're gonna call it a wrap. I'm gonna have to say thank y'all very much for coming on. Um, Very, very much, and I'm glad that we were able to work this out so I can get you guys on here because this is going to actually be my final Saturday stream. It'll be my final Saturday stream for y'all in the chat that didn't know. I'm gonna shut this down because Saturday stream is getting in the way a little bit of life. Friday is fine, it's a work day, end of the work day, all of it works. Saturday, we have other things that I might need to be need to be attended to. So I'm gonna shut this thing down. So I'm glad that you guys were able to come on, and we were my last one. I mean, thank y'all very much. It's gonna be special to me. Thank you very much. And truly last one. It's not gonna be later on. Hey, let me fire it back up. No, it's not coming back. Not coming back. I've been married 22 years, and I like the race we're running. I'm not gonna let this live stream get in the way of that. Not at all. But thank y'all very much. Sandy, thank you for giving them permission for coming on, Hey,
No,
to all the
thanks for
married
having us.
people, y'all understand that. All the married people, you understand that. And Dave know where I'm coming from, where I'm going with that. But yes, thank y'all very much. Bree, God bless you, baby girl. God bless you. Keep going like you're going. Stay passionate. Because this thing is going to always give you something. It changes constantly, but it's always moving forward. The fish hobby is here to stay. It's here to stay. All it's doing is going up. Technology is getting better, but get you a good foundation in the basics, and don't get clouded by all of the hoopla and all the things that they have going on, trying to pump all this extra stuff at you, to make you spend all your money, because most of it you don't even need. Get a good understanding of the foundation of a regular foundation of keeping these fish in these glass boxes, and there's nothing but success. There's nothing but upward trajectory for you. Dave, shout out to you, man. Respect. Take care of your family. Take care of your business. Continue to hold strong, brother, because I'm in that fight with you out here.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Love them fish, man. Take care of them fish and love somebody. We out. Peace.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.